Hey, welcome to my studio. My living room converted into a studio. Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Chia, and I have something to introduce you to. So this is the Chia Iron Stallion. This is a system I built to farm Chia. So I'm going to talk to you today about Chia in general, but specifically about how you would become a farmer. And we're going to start with the system you would need to do this as effectively as possible to be as competitive as possible for one system. So my first system I built was based on an Intel platform, and it was able to produce, I believe it's about 7 plots every 11 hours. So that breaks down to 14 plots per approximately 24 hours. So that's about 1.5 terabyte a day, right, of plotting. So after a week or two of experimenting and kind of doing more research and figuring out more things I didn't quite understand about plotting and Chia, I actually set out to build something that would be more efficient in just one system, right? There's a whole bunch of different ways you could go about this. You could do it with a server, multiple servers, and if you had a server set up, you could do it that way. But I wanted to be able to do it in just one system that I could repurpose for other things down the line. So my goal was basically to build something that could sprint really well. Maybe it's not going to win the marathon, but for a few days or a couple weeks, I could actually be competitive as a sprinter. So that was my goal with this system. What I'm calling the Chia Iron Stallion. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of things I have sitting here on my desk. So the system is built around an AMD Ryzen platform. We have the Ryzen 9. It's the 3900X. The X designates a lack of built-in graphics. So what you're going to see, you're probably curious why I have an ancient video card on my desktop. So this is just one that I had sitting around in the closet. It's just an old ATI before AMD even bought them, Radeon 2600 XT. Basically, the reason why I have that is that I can't use the Ryzen 3900X without a graphics card. So that's why it's there. So, and then moving over this way, we have the Asus X570 Plus. This is basically going to be kind of the motherboard of the rest of the system. And the reason why I picked this one specifically was really two reasons. Asus has been building motherboards, I want to say, for at least 20-something years. And they kind of have a reputation of using quality parts and building quality boards. And so they are pretty much, when you're building something that you want to be reliable, they're always a good go-to. Some of those other brands, they kind of have come and gone. Some of them have different reputations of reliability depending on which chipset you were talking about. I know like Gigabyte, if you go back 20 years, they've been kind of, at times they were really good, at times they were kind of mixed. But Asus has been, since for 20-some years, they've been consistently making great motherboards. So highly recommend Asus pretty much across all their lineups. The reason why specifically this chipset, so the X570 is the basically top of the line for an AMD Ryzen setup. You have the B series, which is more the entry level chipsets. So the 570 is going to give you the greatest performance. I would say in this particular board, why this particular X570 board, besides the fact that it's from Asus, is this is like their entry into the X570 family. So everything that I got, I was able to purchase locally. And so that's kind of dictated some of the specific models. So if they didn't have this model, I might have gotten maybe the next one up from Asus. But all of those are really good. Okay, so moving on. So the next kind of important part of this build was actually the RAM. So in this case, I wanted to maximize the amount of plots that I could do. And so with Chia and plotting, there's 3 factors that really factor into how much you can actually do for plotting parallel. So the kind of the ratio that you want to look at, it's going to be for every plot, you need to essentially think about 333 gigabytes of fast temporary storage. You need about 4 to 5 gigabytes of RAM, and then you need the ability to have a processor thread, at least one. So the Ryzen 9 3600X, it actually has the ability to do up to 24 threads. So that's a lot of threads. And because of that, that's going to give you a lot of overhead for those plots. So the goal with building a system was to do at least 21 plots in parallel. So you're like, wow, that's a big number. And so that was kind of the high bar that I had set for this particular system. The Chia Iron Stallion, because it just crushes, at plotting. So, okay. So then shifting gears a little bit. So we got I got all those 3 things hit. I got in the system, I have 4 DDR4 sticks rated at 3200 gigahertz, and they're also running 128 gigabytes. So essentially that's going to give me that extra overhead for actual RAM. All right, so that's kind of the quick overview. Maybe we'll do a complete build later on, but this is just kind of showing you kind of what I've able to accomplish so far today.